for a bridal garter. This project is very quick and easy. For tools, you'll need a pair of tweezers, some scissors, some needles, and a sewing machine. If you don't have a sewing machine, you can try hand sewing it. It also helps if you have a serger, since we will be using an overlock stitch to finish one seam. If you don't have one, a zigzag stitch on your regular sewing machine should do. For the material, you will need a lace trim, a ribbon the color of your choice, some thread, and some elastic that is less wide than the ribbon you picked. If you want to add pearls, you will need some fabric glue, a toothpick, and a pair of tweezers. I will link the pearls and the glue I bought, but whatever you have should do. As for the measurements, choose where on the leg you want to wear the garter and measure that part. The person I made it for was 21 inches, so before cutting the elastic, I felt it stretch and decided to remove 3 inches. That got me to 18 inches. Now I want to include a 1/2 inch seam allowance on both sides, so in total, since there are 2 sides, it would be 1 inch. So instead of cutting it 18 inches, I'm cutting it 19 inches long. As for the lace, it's up to you how gathered you want it to be. A good rule of thumb is 1.5 times the girth of the leg measurement. As for the ribbon, for this project you'll need twice the amount of lace you got. So whatever measurement you came up with for the lace, double that for the ribbon and cut it in half. We do this so we can hide the elastic between the 2 layers of ribbon, making it seem like there's no elastic and only 1 layer of ribbon. We're being sneaky here. Let's get to sewing. Put your lace trim down with its right side facing down. Put the 2 layers of ribbon, right sides together, and place them on top of the lace trim you just put down. Pin those 3 layers together. Take that piece to your sewing machine and sew along the 2 edges of the ribbon. Try to sew as close as you can to the edges. Now we're moving on to the pearls. This would also work with rhinestones if you prefer that look. Just make sure that the bottom of the gem is a flat surface. This is the size of pearl I chose. Before gluing anything to the lace, find which pattern or which design you want. I chose a sort of square with the pearl in the middle. Now put the glue either on the gem or directly on the lace using the toothpick. Don't use too much glue. When you're done, let it dry for at least 20 minutes. Now take your elastic and put a safety pin at one of its edges. You will feed it through the 2 layers of ribbon. When the elastic is almost fully inside the 2 layers of ribbon, pin the end of it to the edge of your garter so you don't lose it as you pull the other side through. If the other side gets lost in the garter, it will be hard to take out. Once the safety pin comes out of the other side, pin it in place. Take it to your sewing machine and sew the two edges closed using a 1/2 inch seam allowance. Sew over it many times to make sure the elastic is very secure and won't move. Trim the excess thread. Take your garter, fold it on itself, right sides together, and close the edge by sewing it using a 1/2 inch seam allowance. You will need to stretch the garter to make sure your seam allowance measurement is exact. Also, make sure the two layers are aligned so that when it's sewn, the two sides are equal and well aligned. Now take that edge and overlock it with your serger for a professional finish. Take what is left of your ribbon and make a bow. Put the bow in the middle of your garter and hand sew it on. Just take your needle and feed it through the knot of the bow over and over again. You won't be able to tell that there's a stitch there. And you're done. Good job. Let me know if you have any questions in the comments and tag me on Instagram if you followed this tutorial. I'll make sure to repost your photo. Thank you so much for watching, and don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe.